Gosh dang it. Let's start the show.
You're in a live chat.
The Insta-Live talk show that I made up to interview some of my old friends and to catch up during this lonely time of quarantine. Now take it away, Underbite T-Rex. All right. You like that? All right, so today on, let me turn these off really quick, so hopefully it stops. Oh, that's not gonna work. All right, so today on Quarantine Questions with Keenan, we have an old friend of mine, the Studley, the rugged, the OG 6 member, Sean Austin. Oh, my boss machine. Hold on, let's see if that works again. Oh, come on, man. This thing never works, dude. I'm trying to make it work. Sean Austin! Oh, what's up, bud?
Nothing, man. Just, quarantining up with some puppies.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Super cute. When did you guys start doing that?
During the quarantine, man, since we're both home all day, every day, we were like, let's foster some dogs. Like, I think almost everybody else in America is trying to do the same thing.
Well, that's pretty cool. I don't even know how that works. Like, how did you
We just walked in. We were like, hey, can we foster some dogs? And they're like, yeah, here, there's these puppies that need a place to live for the next 2 weeks. We were like, okay, cool.
Wow. Just like at a shelter or somewhere?
Yeah.
Dang.
The local humane society.
Dang. That's nuts, dude. Because, I noticed you're doing that. I was like, maybe they've been doing that a while. I just didn't know. But, okay, yeah. Just since the quarantine. That's cool.
Yeah, just, gives us a little, we've got enough to do, but it gives us more time with dogs. I'm going to go outside because they're whining so much.
Oh, that's fine. Sweet, man. All right.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, that's a question. We'll get to that. All right, let's just jump right in. So,
the
first question is always the history of us. It's how we know each other or how we first met. Do you remember? I kind of can't.
Okay, let's start with how we first met, because I'm going to do a cop-out and say I don't think I can really remember that because it was so long ago. I don't know who introduced who to who, but it was probably 7th grade? 6th grade? 7th grade. Maybe 7th grade.
I think it was 7th grade because 6th grade I hung out with some other kids, but then I remember meeting Zach the summer between 6th grade and 7th grade. And I think I knew Brett and Keith Eldridge because we were on the same baseball team.
Yeah, because you guys were on football.
Yes, we were all Indians. So I think Brett knew you, you guys had known each other. And so I think I started sitting with Brett and Keith at lunch. I think that's how we met. Is we started sitting at the same table at lunch in 7th grade.
I like that. That is way more detailed than I ever could have done.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And we all sat together and then we all just started hanging out together and stuff. But,
it was nonstop hanging out from 7th grade until mid-college.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, we lived together some college before I went to BYU and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was super.
So until you moved away in 2007, 8?
No, because I got home from my mission in 2008 and I did a little Nova. I can't remember if I did Nova first or if I did that community college with you down at Tech or down in Blacksburg or wherever.
College with me down there.
Yeah. So I think I went home for a while and did some Nova and then went to BYU or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. But yeah, I don't think I've seen you in person since 08, 09.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is that accurate? When was the last time we actually saw each other in person?
In person?
Yeah.
I thought it was in 08 because that's when I got home from my mission. So that was And because then we did some college, so it would have been like maybe 2010.
No, man, I graduated in '09. I was gone by 10. I was living in Washington State.
Maybe it was '09 then.
All right. Well, still, that's like,
Yeah.
a decade.
Yeah, that's really, yeah. Whoa, it really is, man. Yeah, it's super crazy. No, because then didn't I see you in Virginia one time? I came back.
Sure. Let's just say yes.
I know I did. I know.
Just so we don't feel so we don't feel so bad about
I
it.
think, Jay, did you ever meet Sean? Like we went back to my parents, because my parents' new place in Leesburg, their big house.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's right.
Married.
It was sometime when we were living in DC. We were there, and you were visiting home, and we came out. That's right.
Yeah. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely was it. Okay,
Yeah,
so but that wasn't a very long time, so we won't even count that. We'll just say 2009.
It was like an afternoon. Yeah.
Oh man, it's good to see you, dude.
Yeah, you too, man. I love it.
Yeah, this is nuts. It's like the best part of the quarantine has been me doing this dumb show, and I just get to talk to my friends I haven't talked to
I
forever.
don't think it's dumb. I was you know who I did this with just like 2 days ago was Andrew Sweeney.
Oh God, I feel so bad. Because Andrew used to live in like Salt Lake all the time when I was in Provo, and I think we hung out like 4 times or something like that. It was really bad. There was like no excuse for how little I saw him. Like, that's really
I mean, it happens, man. I mean, he lives in Salt Lake. I live like 5 hours away, 6 hours away,
yeah.
and we've only seen him once or twice. When we lived in the van, we only saw him once. When we lived in Idaho, we only saw him once. Like, it just happens, man. But no, like, I feel like the quarantine has made it acceptable, not acceptable, but made it like standard to do video calls. So when this is over, I'm going to be like, do we continue to video chat with people, or do we go back to ignoring phone calls? Like, how does this work?
I don't know, man. Like, I've ended a couple of these shows with like a little tagline of like, let's not wait till the next pandemic to talk to each other.
I kind of love it, right? Like, on one hand, it's scary because if this continues for a long time, I feel like this is going to be normal socialization, which is fine for people that are far away. But on the other hand, it's like, do I ever have to leave my house again if I can just video chat whoever I want? Like,
That's really crazy. Well, like me and Jessica were talking about it a little bit because like I'm in dispatch right now, so I'm just like in this little room with like no windows, and life is kind of weird when you're there because like it's like a 12 hours. So like when it was like before daylight savings or whenever, it would just be like I'd get there when it's dark and I'd leave like when it's dark. I just like never saw the sun for like 2 days, and it was just kind of strange. But like it's sometimes it's hard taking the kids out or whatever. Like she'll take the kids out to the park or whatever, but like I usually drive the car. We only have one car, so she doesn't get out much either. Like when I'm at work anyway, and so it kind of feels like just our life. We're like, whoa, were we quarantined before the quarantine?
I know, right? Like, other than the fact that Lindsay works from home now, also, like, it feels pretty standard. I feel really lucky that we're just like, yeah, we go to the grocery store once a week. We cook every meal, and we still go running or hiking every day at the trails right by our house. I'm like, sure.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, I saw some of those videos. I saw that beer mile. That looked painful,
dude. That was awful. That was awful. This like local I mean, they're like a group of folks here locally that have this cool podcast thing with trail running, and they did a virtual beer mile and made stickers for it and challenged everybody to do it. I was like, I've always wanted to do this, so let's just give it a shot. It was terrible. Oh my god.
So judging by the video, you do like a lap and then drink a beer, and then so like it's like 4 or whatever, maybe.
Yeah, so it's like chug a beer, run a lap, chug a beer, run a lap, chug a beer, run a lap. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not good.
I've never, as you know, never drank before, but I can just imagine what that's like. Like drinking anything and doing that is like, I don't know.
I mean, like people did it with like LaCroix and a couple other things. Like it's, yeah.
Are you a LaCroix drinker? You a LaCroix boy?
No.
Okay.
Lindsay drinks it. I can't stand it. I think it feels like it dehydrates me.
I just can't do it. Like we tried at a friend of ours because they were all about it or whatever, and I was like, oh, this looks kind of fun. And then you drink it and you're just like, oh. Like what is this? Like the most like half-assed drink in the world. You're just like, oh, put flavor in it or don't put anything in it.
Yeah. It's like halfway there, and I feel like that's not worthwhile. Although the lemon lime one does taste like Sprite. Everything else tastes like garbage.
All the little pups.
These dogs are driving me crazy.
Can you like jump out of being a foster doggy dad as like fast as you jump into it, or is it like hard to do?
Well,
you sign up for a certain amount of time.
We basically sign up for like a week at a time. Not because mostly because I mean this is only the second 2 dogs we've had. So we had one dog 2 weeks ago. He was with us, and it's we basically took him until he got like all of his vaccines. And once he got nuts, he was able to get adopted. So like he was available for 2 days, and he had been adopted. So we waited a week, and then these 2 came available. But we're only going to have them for like 10 days, and then they're available for adoption. So I'm sure they'll go real fast.
Yeah, I saw that. I was watching your videos, and I was like, oh man, that already on to the next. I was like, that guy didn't stay around long. I mean, they're so cute, they're little puppies, and I'm sure this quarantine time's making people want to like have more going on in their house probably too. So
I think that's it. Well, and what scares me is like people who adopt dogs now because they're like at home or bored or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like once everybody starts going back to work, are they still gonna be able to take care of these dogs?
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. It's kind of sad, so let's just jump on to the next question. How did you meet your significant other? And this is actually, I don't actually think I know this story too much. I think I caught a little bit from Andrew one time, but I don't think I ever really met her. Like, that didn't happen when we were down in Blacksburg or anything.
Well, that's when we met, yeah.
Oh, it did? Oh, okay. Did she ever come by?
Most of my time down in Radford.
Okay.
But yeah, so Lindsay and I met at Radford when we were living in Blacksburg, but going to school in Radford.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know, we were in an academic fraternity together. Nerds, total nerds. I don't know, you know me, man. I was just like, I got to find something to do, so I joined a criminal justice fraternity. But it was mostly just like a real fraternity, but co-ed, because all we did was party. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna try and make it sound better than it was, or classier than it was.
Sure.
But yeah, so we met just going to school. I was a senior I was a junior. She was a sophomore or something. I don't even remember. We started dating, and that was it. It's very uneventful. It's pretty standard.
That's fine, dude.
Yeah. But she likes to tell everybody I asked her out like 6 times before she finally said yes.
Oh, really?
And then I don't know. Before our 1-year anniversary due, we were moving across the country together, so it moved fast.
Dude, that's fine. That's how mine was. It's a fast story, man. But like, how old were you when you guys met, or like when you guys like got engaged?
Oh, well,
when you guys were like moving around. Okay, when you guys were moving around together.
Yeah, that's not fair. So I was 22. Okay. And so she was 21, or I was 23 and she was 22, something like that.
Yeah. See, I like to put it out as like had a lot of experience with like dating and like being around and stuff like that, because you did. We were at college together. I didn't do very much, but oh my gosh, do you remember that one girl you dated for a little bit from what was that community college you went to called? New River,
yeah.
Do you remember her? And like she, like, we were having like someone was having a party. It was a party at our house, the old McLeod house, and and she came over, and you were like, I didn't know that she was like gonna come, or you were like you didn't know what to do because it seemed like she liked you a lot more than you did at this point. Like you guys, you like thought, oh, she's kind of cool, but then like it was obvious you didn't want. And I think you were like, I don't remember if you were drunk yet, but you came to me pretty frantic, and you're like, yeah, you gotta keep her away. And I was like, okay, man, like I'll do it. Like I was like, I'll be the only sober one here. You can count on me. And I can't remember how I got rid of her, but I got rid of her somehow. And you're like,
I remember like the vague context. I don't remember the specific night. Yeah, that was yeah. It was also like 15 years ago.
I know. Another fun part of this show is I like to embarrass my guests sometimes with stories that I remember. Because I remember, like, before the end of the night, you'd kind of change your tune. Drunk Sean had changed his tune a little bit. He was like,
yeah, that sounds very
good. She's here. And I was like, no, like, I remember what you told me, and I'm getting her out of here. So I made sure she didn't stay over, and I got her out of it. And then it was a good thing. You were happy about it later. And it was. And it oh, it was funny. Some funny college fun times.
Yeah, I mean, it was a time, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'm really glad that it was able to happen because, like, BYU was fun, but it wasn't like, you know, the college experience that you saw in Animal House or anything even like close to that. You know what I mean?
No. Hey, hold on. I got puppy escape.
Oh boy, you got him on the list.
Oh, sorry. I don't know how they escaped.
We're not giving them names or anything. We don't want to get too attached, right?
Come here. We did name them just because why not?
Yeah.
We named this little brown dude Chaco. He's the boy.
Oh, nice.
Chaco.
Oh, what's up, cute dude?
And the other one we named Gizmo because she sounds like Gizmo from the Gremlins movie.
Nice. Yeah, man, those videos, dude, super cute. I already told you, but like my wife was like, I wonder how hard it is to like foster. Like maybe we should do that. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Everybody wants to foster.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool. I actually didn't even really like. I mean, I think our dog might have been fostered a little bit before like we got him, so I guess I was aware of it, but I just didn't really like think about it very much or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty cool, you guys to do. All right.
I mean, it's better than being in the shelter. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna have to like take care of him.
No, that's fine. Okay. What are you up to now besides fostering little pups? Or what do you do outside of being quarantined? What's your job?
My job. So I own a government contracting company.
What?
So
I know
yeah.
that.
So I started a consulting firm about 2 years ago, and so I have a couple of contracts with the federal government, a couple of employees in Washington D.C., and so I manage that, and I specialize in like emergency management and ironically enough, chem bio exercises. So I spend my time designing like national response exercises for incidents just like what's happening, but we do it overseas. So like I'm supposed to be in Malaysia right now doing an exercise for Southeast Asia. So yeah, good times. That's what I do. Yeah.
Dang, that's nuts. I think I kind of knew it was something like that, but I wasn't all the way sure. That's why we do these things, you know? So we have these catch-ups.
Yeah. Oh, good.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Oh, man. I got kind of like PTSD for my current job. I'm like they make you get like hazmat technician certified.
Right.
And so I got it, but it wasn't like the funnest thing I've ever done in my life. I was very glad when it was over. And then like when there's like other people like coming up being trained, they're like, Groomer's got hazmat tech. He can like take you out and train you some. I'm just like, guys, I don't remember anything. It's like,
now it's serious.
We're gonna relearn this together, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. Well,
yeah, man. The kind of stuff is it's like everybody makes fun of it for the decade in between disasters.
Sure, yeah.
But it's kind of sad, but that's the reality of it.
Gotta be ready when it's go time, man.
That's it.
All right. And where are you living now? I know it's Arizona. Flagstaff, right?
Flagstaff, Arizona.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's a
That's
pretty cool little mountain town. We found it when we were living in the van. We spent a lot of time here, so we just fell in love with it. It's got everything people like us could ever ask for. So
yeah.
we're stoked to be here.
Yeah, it seems awesome. Yeah, just talking about like just going running for a little run outside on the trail or whatever, like right next to your house or whatever. Yeah, it definitely
Yeah,
seems like
man.
you. Dude, when did that start? Because I just remember, I think it was definitely after I'd left and we had done the thing where we just kind of like didn't talk for a whole lot, blah, blah, blah. But then like
Right.
I like saw you somewhere and you were like skinny and running all the time. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so, I was like, holy cow, Sean's like skinnier than I am now.
Yeah, man. You know, you got to get in shape sooner or later.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just tired of being fat.
Yeah. Well, dude, you look great. You look trim.
Thanks. Thanks.
I
Sorry,
don't.
we're having more puppy disasters.
Oh, that's fine. So while you're doing that, I'll share another story. So everyone but Zach, of like the six, we were all kind of into baseball. I guess Kyle never really did baseball, but like Justin really loved baseball. I really loved baseball, but then we never really did high school baseball. But you and Brett did, and we'd be watching you guys play. And do you remember what you do? You did like a little sign, like when you'd be like on deck, like on the on deck circle, like we'd say stuff to you, and you do like this little sign because like Coach Todd wouldn't let you like turn around and acknowledge us, but you did
Oh
this
yeah.
you did like a little sign to be like, I hear you guys, and or
What
whatever.
was that?
I can't remember. I think you'd like tug on like your pocket or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, because dude, I remember. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I can't remember what it is we did. Because Brett and I came up with it.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Oh
guys
man.
both would do something. I forget what it was. But I
Dude,
remember like this.
you're digging deep into the archives of my brain right now.
That's totally fine, dude. Because I remember some things and other things I just like do not remember. But like, I remember one time we were saying some stuff, and your mom, Patty, was like sitting with us, and we were like, "Yeah, Sean," and then like she was saying something like, "You guys are like embarrassing him," or something like that. Because we were just saying like we were probably being like, "Oh yeah, sexy Sean up to bat," or something like that. It was like me, Jo, and Zach, and then your mom was like, "Guys, like you shouldn't like really get in his head like that," or she said something about I I think it was like I don't know, it was something about you were self conscious about, and then like and so then we just got really quiet, and then Jo was just like, "Looking very trim, Sean." It was like the funniest thing. Like I still remember him doing it, and it just like cracked us all up. It was like it's like so funny. It's like looking trim, Sean.
What I want to know is how your memory like stores these random moments.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just some
I'm a
things.
little bit jealous, right? Like those are those times in our lives where they were like pretty foundational in developing our character and our psyche and everything else. I'm like, I have no fucking idea what happened back then. I can't tell.
Oh my gosh. Oh, dude, I know, or I'm hoping you remember, but there was another time. It was when we were, I think it was spring break for all like the Virginia Tech kids, but me and you were at New River or wherever. Maybe you're at Radford, I don't know. And
Yeah.
so we were like alone in the house. I think we both got sick together too.
Dude, it was like we went back to school early or something. I can't remember. I know exactly where
Oh,
you're
yeah,
going.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And like we were having breakfast together one time, and I can't remember what it is, but we laughed for like 25 minutes, like straight, just like coughing up cereal and milk and just
For
like
no
laughing.
reason.
I can't remember what it was.
Do you remember? Do you remember when like it was that same week we were sitting in the basement like watching TV or something,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was really like it was like a windstorm, and
yeah.
the tree like fell on the house, and you and I were like, "What's happening?"
I think we were watching Jurassic Park for some reason. No, or maybe it was. I can't remember. Yeah, because you wanted to see, because we had a bet. I think we were both sick. I just remember soup, and I remember like being in the bathtub at one point. But I think we watched Jurassic Park because we had a bet that Samuel L. Jackson said MFer in it, and I was like,
Yeah,
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
So then we ended up watching Jurassic Park, and then the tree fell on my house, and that was nuts.
Dude, I do remember that. See, that's like an acceptable amount of time to remember.
High school's too far. Oh my gosh, dude. That's nuts. All right, let's hit a couple more of these questions. Where were you born? I'm gonna say Hamilton, Virginia.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Or that's where you're
I
from
was
anyway.
born
Maybe I don't know where you were born.
I was born at the old hospital in Leesburg.
Oh yeah, okay, Leesburg, close enough.
Yeah.
Okay. And where are you from? Like where would you claim
Hamilton.
to hail from? Hamilton, yep. Dude, so many memories of your mom's house, dude.
Yeah, man. We were like, I'm not going to say I miss it, right? Because I love my life. I don't want to go back to being in high school. But
Yeah.
I think, who misses it is my mom. Like, she was, like, even to this day, man, I can't talk to her like more than, one out of every 3 phone calls. It's like, oh, how is like Keenan, Zach, Justin, Kyle, Brett? I mean, like, we just talk via Instagram.
Yeah. No, I know, man. Those are some great times. It's great to hear Patty misses those times. Your mom was so nice, and then I feel at school like she felt like she might get in trouble for being too nice because I didn't think she was mean, but it's just like, this is Austin, it's me. She just like no quarter, like no.
You can't just flip the switch like that. It's not fair.
Yeah, but she would we'd play in the snow, and like your mom would like throw our clothes like in the dryer, because we'd be like in like other snow clothes, I guess, and she'd like throw our clothes in the dryer so they just like be nice and warm when we got in from like playing in the snow, and just like endless double stuffed Oreos. Your mom like always had a bunch. And
double stuffed Oreos and Mountain Dew. I think that's like all we've done for a long time.
Yeah. Well, your mom was a big Pepsi drinker, wasn't she?
I guess so. Yeah, Diet Coke was like her jam.
Or maybe it was Diet Coke. I can't remember. I don't know why I jumped to Pepsi, but yeah, I remember she always like needed some before, like she'd have like a big one like in class or whatever.
Every morning.
Like, in the morning, yeah.
She goes through the McDonald's drive-through literally every morning to get a Diet Coke. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Percival McDonald's.
That's it.
What a landmark. I wonder if it's still there. I've actually, since my parents moved to Leesburg, I haven't been back to Virginia in a really long time. And when we do, it's like, a little bit. But I haven't been to Percival in forever, I feel like.
Well, yeah, because so my mom and stepdad moved to West Virginia. So, like, there's no reason. I have no reason to go to Percival.
Yeah, I think I knew that actually. I think I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, because I go back to DC, every month or two for work, but I don't leave DC. I don't go back out there anymore.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. I wonder what it's like. I was gonna say something gay, like we should all get together and go and see what stuff is like, but that probably never happened. But that would be fun. That would be neat.
The logistics of it alone, I think, are impossible. Like, actually impossible.
Just impossible. Actually, so I was talking to Zach, and me and Zach have an idea about, because I was just thinking, I was like, our childhood, or like, our growing up years of like high school and middle school and stuff, were like really good. And I think we grew up in a time that was very interesting. And because like we had like some technology, but not like what it is today at all. But it's just like on the cusp of that. So it was still like landlines and stuff like that, or like using minutes on the cell phone and stuff, and like coordinating life around that and stuff.
I remember like when baseball practice was over, like before we could drive, we used to line up at the payphone in the high school parking lot and do a call to our houses and just say like, "Hey, we're ready." And they would decline the charge. Like, it was like that Geico commercial. Like,
says it real fast.
Yeah, like, Yeah, but I agree. Like, I feel pretty confident with technology. I mean, at the end of the day, we're millennials. I get it. But it was a little, like, kind of on the cusp, I guess, if you will. When did you get a cell phone? I think I got one junior year or senior year of high school.
I want to say, I think like me and all my brothers had one that we could share, like if we were going somewhere. But
Sounds about right.
I think I got my own senior year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I only remember that because I remember, oh my gosh, after me and Jo and Zach did the Beastie Boys thing for the senior pep rally, we were like, it was after hours at school for some reason, and we were like sliding around in the halls, like in those jumpsuits that we wore for the Beastie Boys show, because you just like slide forever. It was super fun. And I remember cracking my phone screen and it getting all jacked up, and I was just like, oh, I just got this thing. So I remember senior years when I got a cell phone because of that.
It was like the Razor or whatever.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't a Razor. I think it was actually called a surfboard. I think that was like the name of the model, which was weird. But anyway, yeah, weird times. Anyway, but so yeah, so I think it's just like an interesting time. So I was talking with Zach, and I was like, I do and I don't kind of have these connections with certain people and all these different things. Like, I feel like I've made connections in my life, and I should probably like take advantage of that at some point. So I was like, I think we should write a screenplay like about like senior year or something like that, just because it was such an interesting time, and make like a John Hughes like sort of movie about it. It'll probably never happen, but it's like a fun project for him and I to like relive some stuff and like remember some funny stories, because it's like, because you couldn't make them. I mean, you could, I guess, but like it wouldn't be the same. Like there were certain situations because of the time period that were just like made for a great story. And so,
yeah, no, I agree. I love it, dude. I will contribute all of my remaining memories to it.
yeah, we're like, we'll call everybody, we'll get all these stories, and we'll put something together. It'll be so much fun. And so yeah, that's a fun little project we're kind of working on the side. But yeah, man, just a lot of crazy stuff, crazy memories, and growing up in Loco.
Dude, one, like, now just seeing how much has changed too, which I know applies to every generation and from every town or city, whatever. But you know, it's like now there's enough time and distance to be like, wow, like, you know, Western Loudoun County was awesome when we were there, and it was awesome, you know, when our parents were growing up there, and it's awesome when our kids grow up there. You know, like it just is what it is. But it is funny to look at how much has changed in 15, 20 years.
I know, it's nuts.
15 years. My math sucks still. 15 years, yeah.
I don't even count. I don't even count anymore. I just let them. I don't know. That was a dumb joke. All right, so we're going to jump into the favorites category. Give me your favorite snack.
Favorite snack?
Yeah.
Cliff Bar.
A Cliff Bar?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't snack much.
That's good. I love it. Favorite dad joke?
Man, I can't come up with this kind of stuff on the spot.
All right, I'll give you one. Let me give you one. This is what I heard from a guy from work. So it goes, I've been saying mucho to all my Spanish speaking friends lately. It really means a lot to them.
I think I'm more a fan of like the dad phrases. Like you're turning into your dad when. Because I'm like my favorite one, which I do all the time, especially when we go back home, is like, man, when I was growing up, this was just fields. Like, you know, things like that, you know.
That's good. That's acceptable. I'll accept it. That's good. My dad used to always say, don't reinvent the wheel. And I'd catch myself saying that. Not to my kids, but like I'd say that to like people, or I don't know. I remember like in college being like saying it and being like, like what's my dad would always say that. All right, let's go to favorite guilty pleasure. Just anything you'd call a guilty pleasure.
Still cookies and cream ice cream all the time. Yeah, all day. Not all day every day, but like always when given an option between anything and cookies and cream ice cream. It's cookies and cream ice cream.
Nice, I love it. Favorite fast food joint?
I mean, I will say Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
Nice. I'm right there with you. I like the Chick-fil-A, man.
Dude, spicy chicken sandwich, it's like my monthly treat to myself. That and a cookies and cream milkshake. Go figure.
Dude, it's so good, man. I like
Yeah.
the spicy deluxe too. Sometimes I forget because Jessica doesn't like pickles, and so like she doesn't like with pickles. But I love the pickles, and so sometimes I'll just take them out of hers and put them in mine. But she's like, "Did you do that thing? I can taste it. It tastes like pickle." But I just found out from my last interview, I guess Chick-fil-A brines their chicken in pickle juice, and that's what makes, I guess, gives it like a different flavor than other chicken joints or whatever.
Never would have known that.
I think it's kind of cool. It kind of makes sense. Softens it up probably and gives it a little flavor. Anyway, yeah, Chick-fil-A's good. Let's see, favorite band right now, and then favorite band ever, like Desert Island Band. So first, your favorite band, like right now, like something new maybe or not, something you're listening to a lot right now.
I listen to Chris Stapleton on repeat. He's not a band, but it's as close as I'll get.
Sure, that's fine.
And then all time?
Yeah.
Time? I don't know. It's a toss-up between like the Eagles or Alabama.
Those are both good.
And very different.
Yeah, but they have like an equal of like a like kind of timeless sound, I would say.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
All right, let's see. Okay, this is the Never Have I Ever section. Never have I ever binged a whole show or season on Netflix or whatever streaming service while being quarantined.
Yeah, totally done that.
What have you binged?
Ozark.
What?
Ozark?
Oh, Ozark.
Ozark season 3.
We watched the first season in Iraq, and I couldn't really get into it. I was like,
it's a stressful show.
What?
It's a stressful show.
It is kind of stressful. It kind of is. But the whole time I was just like, well, why are we just watching Breaking Bad again? Like, I'd rather just watch Breaking Bad. Like, it felt like a poor man's Breaking Bad to me. I don't know. I did like it, but the whole time I was just like, I just couldn't get super duper into it. It's good though, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's really good television. It's quality, but I find it to be very anxiety inducing just because it's like you're rooting for a criminal and he's constantly almost getting caught. And
yeah.
It's so good. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's why I just couldn't. I guess that's why I made the Breaking Bad kind of comparison because it was kind of similar in that way, and I was just like, I don't know. So we watched the first season, but then kind of stopped. But I mean, it did look good. There were some cliffhanging kind of things from the end of season 1. I did kind of want to figure it out a little bit. All these like what was it? I don't want to get into it. It's fine. But yeah, there's like those moving parts, you know, where like you think he's out of the clear and then something dumb happens and you're just like, oh, now there's like a whole new bad guy or whatever. So yeah. All right, let's see. Never have I ever ate really terribly during the quarantine. If yes, explain in great detail.
I mean, what's really terrible, right? Sure. I'll say like I've made a few too many frozen pizzas. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. What's your go-to frozen pizza?
We do a diet cheese. It's the 4 cheese pizza, but it's a vegan version, non-dairy.
Are you vegan?
No, but my wife is.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we usually buy like 2 or 3 when we go to the store every week. And I'm like, oh, this will last us for sure. And then like by Wednesday, it's like, where'd all the frozen pizza go?
Dude, frozen pizza does go. We don't get it a lot, but like we had it the other day, and it was just like, you just eat it in one go. Like it's just like there's no leftovers. You're just gonna eat a frozen pizza.
They're not like personal, but they're not real pizzas, right?
Yeah, they're not like huge.
Like you cut it into fourths, and
exactly.
That's the meal for each of you. Yeah. Like half of a frozen pizza is in fact a meal. I don't feel bad about it.
I know, it's crazy. All right, let's see. Have you ever judged people too harshly for not practicing good quarantining?
100%, yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But I feel bad too because I don't think I'm the best sometimes either. But yeah.
I don't know. We're pretty good. We Other than the store, when we wear our masks, we don't go anywhere that
Yeah.
requires us to have contact. But
Yeah, same.
yeah, I get really close, and so I like run there from here to access all the trails.
Uh-huh.
But the parking lot is really, it's like packed every day, and there's just like hundreds of kids and people running around playing together. And I'm just like, you do not all live together. You
Yeah.
all need to go home.
Yeah, that's weird.
Which, like, it sounds a little hypocritical because I'm out there, but I'm like, if you have to drive to get there, you shouldn't go. That's my
Yeah. And also, like, you're not with a bunch of people. It's just like you, like, running. You know, you're away from people. The whole 6-foot thing or whatever. Yeah. We've definitely gone on like family walks around the neighborhood and stuff, and you just like jump to the other side of the sidewalk if you see someone like coming up on your sidewalk or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And like, because I get it, like you need to be out, you need to like do things, especially with kids. You need to like run them a little bit and stuff. But agreed, all these like people like together or whatever. I work in dispatch right now, and like it's the same room as like the cops dispatch on base, and they were getting calls like repeatedly from the same lady. I guess there was like some teenagers that would just like be on like her sidewalk, like by her mailbox, and they just like wanted to hang out there, and she'd like yell at them from the house, like you're not quarantining and all this sort of stuff. Like these like it was just funny because it's like these are what like the punk teens are doing now, just like hanging at like loitering places and like making people mad that they're not practicing good quarantining or whatever. It made me laugh a little bit.
Dude, that's what it is too. It's like a whole new rule to be broken.
Yeah, they're like, oh, let's go walk too close together somewhere. All right. So this is the memory lane section. So let's hear your first kiss story.
Oh, dude, I don't even know.
Because I might know it. I was trying to think before we started, but I don't know for sure. Who's your first kiss? Was that in high school? Or before?
I think it was before. I hope it was before.
The only person I could remember you dating in high school, like actually, was Avon.
I was a freshman in college. Yeah, I was in college. I was a freshman. I don't know. I really don't. I think there's like a story that I've been told about like elementary school playground kind of thing, but I don't even know who or when.
All right, give me.
It's probably, and Kyle Lawson or Brent Motides could probably back me up on this. It's probably one of the girls that we met at the work camp thing we used to do.
Oh yeah.
Way back in the day.
Crazy work camp experience.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna go with. One of those.
Okay, cool. First big rebellious move against Patty.
Throwing a party at my house. Threw a party at my house senior year of high school when they went out of town for the weekend.
I remember that because that was the first time I tasted alcohol.
And
because Mike Cop spiked my milk. I was playing chess with someone. Oh, sorry. What?
Hold on 1 second.
Sorry. Getting a little too heated for the puppies. Oh. Mike Cop, if you're one of our 4 viewers, I'm still very upset about this.
These puppies are like escape artists. We have a pen and they keep getting out.
Dang, dude.
And Lindsay's in like a court video chat for her client, so I have to be really quiet.
Oh snap! Sorry.
So I threw a party at the house. The best part was I actually we cleaned everything up. I talked to the neighbors. Nobody was gonna rat us out, and then somebody put a case of beer. Like they stashed it in a bush or something, and that's how we got caught.
Dang.
Yeah.
I don't remember the repercussions of that. I'm thinking I probably stayed the night, but I might not have. I don't remember. Can't remember. But I do remember that, yeah, because Matt Kopp spiked my milk with Jack Daniels. I got up to go to the bathroom or something. I was playing chess with somebody. I can't remember. And I drank it. I was like, oh, I spit out in the sink. I was like, And
Right.
that cop was
Yeah.
like probably naked. And he's like, "Oh, I got you," or he was mad that I spit it out. He was like, "Why are you gonna waste that Jack Daniels?"
I feel like that would be a very Matt Cop thing to do. Which also is a name I haven't heard in
Forever.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He was in my English class. Oh snap! He was in my English class one year, and like he found out that the word copulate. He found out what the word copulate meant, and then he went by
What
the
did that mean?
copulator after that forever. And life was
I
never
love
the
it.
same after that.
I love it.
He thought it was great. All right, let's see. Let's jump back down memory lane. Oh, my phone. Let's see. That was probably the only part you were through. And let me just say that was so Sean Austin too, to go around and talk to the neighbors. Like
Yeah,
as soon as you said that, I was like, that is exactly what Sean Austin would have done. High school Sean
yeah. 100%.
Austin. That's so great. Okay, let's see. Most memorable moment in high school or college or life before 25.
Before the age of 25.
Yeah,
I
I was trying to think of a good number for
would
that.
say like, I mean, what most impactful would be like when Lindsay and I drove across the country and moved to Washington State. Like, I'd been other places, obviously, but I don't know, like striking out at 22 and just hauling a trailer and moving across the country was like it forever. It set us on this path that like we're still on. I mean, we just got done living in a van. Like,
Yeah.
love it.
That's awesome. That's a good one. Yeah, man. His van life.
Van life.
You guys just like what started that? What spurred that on? Like
I don't know.
restless
Instagram? I don't
souls?
know.
Oh, really?
Lindsay was like, "Hey, have you heard of this like whole thing called van life?" I was like, "Not really." And then we started looking into it, and she was like, "I kind of want to do this." And I was like, "All right, let's give it a shot. Like, let's figure out how to do it." So we started planning and plotting, and about 2 years later, we moved into the van.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, because at one point I want to say, even if it was just for a moment, I think you wanted to be like a big rig driver at some point because you just like loved being on the road.
Yeah. I mean,
I think we
I
talked
have
about it.
I have always and will always love just driving around. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why. Ever since I got my permit, like that's all I've ever wanted to do is drive. So it is very conducive to that desire. Yes.
I think that's probably why it came up. I think we were driving down, or we were driving home from Blacksburg, and you like just brought it up, or I asked if like you wanted me to drive, like if you're tired or whatever. You're like, "You kidding?" You're like, "I could do this all day," and then like I think you like talked about like maybe looking into being like a big rig driver or something.
Dude, I mean, Lindsay and I spent 10 months living out of a van where we drove literally every day, sometimes hundreds of miles, sometimes, just around town. And I think Lindsay drove like a collective like 300 miles of like the 25,000 miles we drove. It was awesome.
That's awesome. That's crazy, dude. Do you have like tons of like pictures and video and stuff from like you guys' life on the road?
I mean, just what's on Instagram, really.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like one of the things where like we wanted to document it, and Lindsay started a YouTube channel, and then it just like it became like more work to like film and take pictures than like enjoy life. So we stopped.
Yeah. That's admirable.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe this is the same thing. Well, actually, we found out you didn't really get away with it. But so best lie you ever got away with?
I mean, telling everybody I'm cooler than I
am. Sean, you are cool. Okay.
I'm gonna stick with that one.
Okay. I'll accept it. It's good. All right, we're gonna get to the what are you reading or watching section. So I know we're watching Ozark, but you reading anything good? You watching anything else?
Yeah, I just finished the book Educated, which I don't know if you've heard of that, about this woman who grows up like homeschooled up in Idaho. Pretty, recent bestseller.
Really quick, let me get you off really quick.
What?
Because I had another fun memory. So when you were like, you said the title of the book, and then you're like, have you ever read it? And I was like, no. And I've
I don't know where
definitely
you're going. Let's do it. Yeah.
I've read some books. I have read some books. I'm not a huge reader. I read mostly comic books, but one time we were all together and we're talking. It was definitely in Blacksburg.
We were in the basement watching the news.
Or something, yeah. Do you remember what this?
Oh, I remember it. It's like probably the worst thing I've ever said to you, or the meanest I've ever been to you.
Still got to the core.
I think about
I
that now. I remember. Yeah.
I don't think you were being mean. You're just like so appalled that I didn't know because they said like what was it, Abu Graves?
Yeah. They talked about the prison at Abu Ghraib. Yeah.
Yeah, and I said like, who's that or something like that, and you were like, what? You were like so shocked. You're like, read an effing book, Keenan. I was like,
yeah. I was like so mad at you for no reason.
It still hurts.
That's
funny.
Yeah, so that's what I read.
Sorry.
But also, like some of my buddies and I, we do a book club every month.
Oh, that's good. That's cool.
Just kind of we rotate, so it makes me read things I wouldn't normally read. So digging that.
Awesome. Wait, what's it about?
What?
Yeah, what's it about? We kind of skipped that.
Oh, Educated?
Yeah.
It's this woman who grows up like almost FLDS in Idaho,
Wow.
and is homeschooled and just talks about like the emotional roller coaster that was growing up in a poor, isolated family, and her story of not getting out. It's not like she escaped so much as like, her story of how she like broke the cycle. I'm doing it a huge injustice. It's like #1 bestseller right now in the country. Like it's a really good book. Yeah. So,
yeah, that's...
but yeah, and then watching other than Ozark, what are we watching? I watched a lot of HGTV, man. Watch a lot of House Hunters and Cabin Builders and all those shit. I'm just like, now that we're full quarantine mode, yeah, I'm all over it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, actually, that's always like playing for some reason in Dispatch. Someone's always had HGTV on, and I'm just like trying to I mean, I guess I could watch it at home, but it's like there's a lot of cool stuff on there, man. Like we're planning on being homeowners once I get out of the military, and like we already got like ideas of like different things we want to do and crap like that. So yeah, HGTV is pretty cool actually. All right, we've reached the Pied Piper section, so this is the time for you to be the Pied Piper and recommend something for all 4 of our viewers to follow, like someone to follow on Instagram, or like a book to read, like you kind of just plugged about, like another one, or something to watch or whatever, someone to music to listen to or whatever you want.
I think everybody, all 4 of the people watching, should go listen to.
Oh, there's
Chris
5 now. Oh no, there's 4. Never mind.
I think we can all go listen to Chris Stapleton on repeat because that shit is good.
Okay, I will, per your recommendation, I will give Chris Stapleton a listen.
Right up your alley, Keenan. I just know it.
Perfect. Well, I'm definitely gonna do that though. Okay, that's kind of the show. We've got one more section called the rapid fire section, where I just quickly give you 2 options, this or that. And
okay.
You choose one as quickly and I guess honestly as you can.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Good. Cake or pie?
Pie.
Okay. Red Vines or Twizzlers? Lots of food, sorry.
Twizzlers.
Oh, gross. McDonald's or Burger King?
Neither.
Neither?
No.
You gotta pick one. What is it gonna be?
McDonald's.
Good. Okay. Red or blue?
Blue.
Guns or knives?
Guns.
Cheap or free?
Cheap.
These are just dumb questions. Beavis or Butthead?
Beavis.
Too warm or too cold?
Too warm.
Ugly or annoying?
Annoyed.
No, ugly or annoying. You gotta pick one.
Annoying.
Okay. And then finally, Corona or Corona?
Oh, Corona. Yeah, definitely
Oh,
Corona.
oh, gross. You chose Corona. You chose COVID, dude. Yeah. It's just a dumb. I thought it'd be a fun way to end the show. It's just always really dumb.
Whatever,
Anyway,
man. Yeah.
yeah, thanks for being on, man. It's been
Yeah, man.
obviously way, way, way too long, but
No, it's all good, dude. I love it.
yeah, man, it was really, really good talking to you. We got to figure something out. So when I was supposed to get out of the military in September, but because of this Corona stuff, it might be extended, which would really
Really?
suck. But we were talking about moving to Utah or somewhere like that or whatever. I don't know. But
Yeah,
Arizona kind of got thrown in there, so we'll have to give Flagstaff another little look and maybe see about
it's
that.
definitely nice here, man. It's nice. Where are you in California again?
It's called Fairfield. It's like right between Sacramento and San Francisco,
Yeah, okay.
like Northern California area, Bay
Right.
Area, sort of. But yeah,
Sure. Yeah. You tech bro now?
yeah, yes. Who's
Yeah. But yeah, man, I like this. This was fun. It's good to talk to your fates.
I know, man. I think Zach said we should set up like a Zoom or something of like the six and Andrew.
Zach,
I know Andrew hated being like included in like the six, but like, and Andrew, like he always hated that. You remember?
I can't hear you anymore.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? Oh no. Okay. Well, later. Love you, dude. Later. Oh, and that's the show, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.